My people, do me a favor, hit that like button down there, please, if you don't mind. While you're at it, don't mind my dirty ass hands. Have been working. And if you do hit that like button, and only if you hit that like button, you will automatically be entered to win yourself a half a can of Free All. It's deep penetrating. Deep penetrating. Also, guys, please make sure you check out DNKKnives.com. And if you do purchase something from there, make sure you use this coupon code BehindTheEdge10, one word, and you will find yourself having 10% subtracted from the total of your order. Check me out on Instagram if you would like to. That'd be cool. Make sure you subscribe. There'll be a link to Patreon in the description also if you are interested in supporting the channel in that way. Today, we're going to kind of do the first week roundup on the Spyderco Shaman. This is, I carried it. Sorry guys, I'm trying to get my chair here in order. So I got it just about a week ago and immediately started putting it to work. Put it in my pocket, been carrying it all week for the last week and this week. So 7 days. And I kind of want to give you my opinions, not on the knife per se, more on the steel. The knife too, but mostly on the steel. My typical everyday carry, everyday work knife carry would be the K390 Police 4. Mostly because of the K390. I love it. It's my favorite steel. By a long shot. I do not care about rust prevention or stain resistance on any knife blade. I take care of my knives, and I don't live near the ocean, so or work around the ocean or around water at all. So I get to benefit or enjoy the benefits of a high wear resistant tool steel, which is what 15B is. Sorry, I'm having some issues with it not wanting to focus. Sorry about that. So K390 has been my favorite for a long time. Before K390 was prevalent, I kind of went towards M4, CPM M4 and stuff, and Rex 45 and stuff like that, because I'm just an edge retention slut, and K390 gives you that. It gives you a lot of front end sharpness for a very long time, and it is relatively tough for what it is. Now 15B on paper will have better edge retention, but won't be quite as tough as K390, and I agree with that because I've already got a little bit of a microchip right there, but I am quite hard on my knives. So I believe it happened when I was breaking down cabinet boxes at work. They got them big giant staples in them, and I think I hit the staple, so that's probably where that came from, but I don't know that for 100%. I did hit concrete, right edge straight, like about that hard, and it did not phase it whatsoever. I know that's not real hard, but typically, you know, if I'd have did that to D2, it would have rolled that edge a little bit, or maybe even chipped it, but more than likely rolled it. Didn't phase it one bit at all. So, first of all, the knife itself, the Shaman, the platform, is an amazing knife. I very much enjoy it. Very robust blade stock, but the blade is extremely tall, almost 1.5 inches, so it can be ground down quite thin enough to have good cutting geometry, which it does. The knife itself is extremely comfortable. It is one of the most comfortable knives that you can get, in my opinion. Contoured G10 handles, a choil, excellent. You get no fatigue from using it. The clip does, you can feel it, but it's not bad. It's not awful at all. I am going to get a new clip for it and maybe put a set of titanium scales, but I'm kind of leaning more towards some micarta scales just because it is going to be a dedicated user. I wish they made scales for the Police 4 because I would absolutely put some on there because I don't particularly care for the plastic, but I like the platform enough to get past it. So I've been carrying this in my primary. This is secondary, but I haven't pulled it out of my pocket at all. I did carry this as a secondary just for a day, and it does okay. Surprisingly well for what it is. All right, so I'm gonna get this out of the way. So it's only been a week, so I can't really say that K390 is better or 15V is better. I just haven't had enough experience with it, but I can say that it has held up quite well for what I have put it through. Breaking down multiple boxes to throw away, and I mean big boxes the size of cabinets. Cutting quite a few not zip ties, but they're straps. They put straps on the bundles of wood and my lumber package when it gets delivered to work. So your typical zip tie is one thing, but a strap is about that wide. It's about 4 of these across, and it is substantially thicker than the zip ties. So I am busting through those with no problem whatsoever. It does not phase the edge at all. Of course, I don't get in and dig, give it I'm not putting a lot of pressure on the apex. I'm letting the edge do the cutting, not the blade. If that makes any sense at all, I do not know. I hope so. I also do that with this knife as well because this knife is considerably thinner than the Shaman. But I could get away with a lot more, I think, with the K390. So in my very limited experience, I believe the 15V is going to be excellent and do its job that I needed to do, but I might have to be a little more careful with it than I would have to be with the K390. Knife Steel Nerds, Larry Thomas has a good video about K390, and he does speak about 15V a little bit. He also believes that K390 is quite possibly the best all-around pocket knife steel there is, if you are not worried about stain resistance, which I am most definitely not. It's amazing stuff. The 15V will have, like I said, better edge retention in the long run, but maybe not with this geometry. I'm going to lay this edge back, make it steeper. I'm going to go 17 degrees both sides, and just like this one is 17 degrees both sides. So I will get even better edge retention. Also, I do have to say this is the factory edge. It was pretty good, but I am going to put my edge on it, and just like any other knife, the more edges you put on it, the better your performance is going to be up into a certain amount of sharpenings, But after the second or third sharpening, you're going to start to get your maximum edge retention out of these knives. I have only sharpened this knife once since I've had it. It's been about 6 months. I use it literally every day. I do strop it maybe once every couple weeks or so, but it is still absolutely banana sharp, and that's mostly why it's my favorite steel. If you guys have any experience with 15V beyond what I just said, let me know in the comments. How's it held up for you? How's it holding on? They do have this steel in the Manix 2 and the Paramilitary 2. I'm not really interested in it in the paramilitary too because the blade stock is super thin, and it's not what I want. So I did want the Shaman, and I would like to have the Manix 2 as well in this steel, and I'd like to compare the two in performance. The blade stock on this Shaman is much thicker than both of those, though. So that does help it be a little tougher by having that thicker geometry. Anyway, that's all I got for you guys. That's just week one with this knife. I am going to do a long-term review of it on the steel and the knife itself after, let's say, 2 or 3 months. We'll come back and talk about it again. Hope to see you there. Make sure you guys love each other, nice to each other, and just don't be a piece of shit in general. It's just a good rule to live by. Later,